Forever Home, a game where you are trying to give a little dog a home forever. Isn't that just cute? Well, that is exactly what this game is about. You are a shelter, you are getting in dogs, and you want them to go out to a home where they can stay forever, ever? Yes, that is right, Forever Home. And in this video, I'm going to give you an overview of what this game is about. I mean, what do you actually do in this game besides giving dogs a home? That should be enough. But let's take a look at this. Just sit down and let's have a look. So here in front of us, we have our little player board. And this is our little kennel, so to say. Now, this is where we will train the dogs. And we will train them by creating patterns. These little tokens, these are the dogs. Now, at the start of the game, each player will start the game with 2 dogs per player. Eventually, we will of course get more and more dogs in here, being able to create more and more patterns. But what kind of patterns are we trying to create? Well, that all depends on which training cards you have on your hand. Because as you can see on these training cards, there are different symbols and patterns. These represent the patterns that you should create on your player board. If you manage to create these patterns, well, you will get the score in the bottom right corner. This card here, for example, means that you should have 2 dogs of one kind on the top and 2 cards of another type of dog on the bottom. Just like this here, meaning that this player have actually managed to complete this card. When you have managed to complete a card, well, you place it face down next to your player board, showing the other players how many cards you have completed, so they can have a little eye on you. Once you have managed to complete a training card, you get to take one of the dogs that you have trained and put them into one of the homes on the top of your player board. Now you can choose whichever dog you would like to, and you can choose whatever home you would like to as well. Now in the future you will get more and more dogs in these homes, so make sure that each token is visible, meaning that you can't place them all in just one stack. You need to place them so the other players can see how many dogs you have actually managed to get home. On the side of the board, you can see which actions you can do. You can choose to take a dog, take a card, or move one dog. Let's take a look at the actions. The first action is take one dog. But what does that mean, right? Well, that means that you can take one dog from the central area. Out here you have 4 available dogs. And you can choose to take one of these and put them into your shelter on your little grid here. Now, you can't place a dog where there are already a dog. No, it needs to be an empty space. Other than that, you can freely place it pretty much anywhere you want to in your grid. As soon as you have taken a dog from this area, you need to refill it with a new one from the bag. So that was the first action, simply to take a dog. Now, your second action could be to take a card instead. Out here you have 4 visible cards, and you can choose any of these 4s, but you cannot take from the deck. But you could take this one here, for example, giving you a new trick trying to learn and a new possible score in the future. Now, once you have taken a card, you need to refill the market right away. And you can have a maximum of 5 cards on your hand. The third action is to move a dog in your shelter, and you can move them 1 step. Now, you can only move them to empty spaces, but you can actually move them diagonal as well if you want to. Once a player have completed 7 trainings, meaning that they have 7 completed training cards faced down next to the board, well, the end game begins. This means that the player will announce that now I have 7 completed training cards, and then everybody else will get to go one more time, doing the end game. And then the game is done, and we need to calculate scores. First, you can score from your training cards, remember? But there are actually 2 more ways to score some points. We have the commendation board, for example. As you can see, you have 3 different fields here. In the first one, you will get points depending on if you have the most dogs in a certain color in training. Here, for example, if a player have most green dogs in training, they would get 1 point. Over here we have how many dogs you have managed to get home in a certain color. And if you have the most dogs in a home of that certain color, you would get points. And here we have if you have managed to gather these dogs into most different type of homes. Meaning that if you have several blue dogs in several different homes, more than any other player, you would get 3 points. And then we of course also have the city cards. Now these are randomly selected at the start of the game. And at the top you will score depending on if you have managed to complete whatever that card says. And that's how you play Forever Home. It's not that hard to learn, but there are quite a few ways for you to enhance your gameplay out here on the board itself. There's also a lot of strategy in placing out the little tiles here from the start of the game. And you really need to keep a track on the training cards, but also the commendations and the city cards to be able to maximize your scores. Just like their other game, Dog Park, Forever Home is a nice little comfort game. I mean, there is a type of battle here between the players going on, but it's really just you trying to get dogs a new home. You got your little player field here. I mean, you have the cards, but there's not that much player interference in that way. It's really about you just trying to find new homes to the dogs, which is also why there is a solo mode in this game, where you would use specific solo cards to be able to play this solo. I will let you figure that out by yourself, but I have tried it and I gotta say, it's quite nice. Forever Home. I want to be forever. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to sing for you. I have a tendency to do that and people get scared. But you will not be scared for Forever Home because this was a nice little game. I really like the feel of it. And I think that if you like Dog Park, you are going to love Forever Home as well. They just keep on spitting out these little gems here that I really, really like. So if you want to know more about this little game, well, check out the links here underneath the table. I mean, in the description underneath this video. If you like the video, throw in a comment there. Give me a high five if you see me out on the town. But most importantly, my friend, please remember to keep on spreading that board gaming love I know you all have. Peace out.